Imagine for a moment that the world has finally drifted into a deep, velvety silence. You have tucked yourself into bed, the heavy blankets offering a sense of total security as the day's worries dissolve into the shadows of the room. But then, just as your mind begins to touch the edges of sleep, a sudden, frantic thud echoes from the hallway. It's followed by the sound of invisible paws scrambling across the hardwood, a blur of motion that seems to defy the laws of gravity. Your cat, who spent most of the afternoon as a motionless puddle of fur in a sunspot, has suddenly transformed into a chaotic, high-speed shadow. We often call this the midnight Zoomies, dismissing it as a random glitch in their personality or perhaps just a burst of pent-up energy. We laugh it off as we pull the pillow over our ears, waiting for the storm to pass. But as you lie there in the dark, listening to the rhythmic intensity of their flight, have you ever felt that there is a hidden narrative unfolding in that frantic pace? There is a profound psychological release happening in those midnight sprints, a release that reaches back to the very dawn of the feline spirit. You see a cat playing in the dark, but in the secret world of feline biology, something much deeper is occurring. This isn't just a physical workout, it is a complex emotional purging, a bridge between the domestic comfort of your sofa and the raw, untamed instincts that still pulse through their veins. The real reason your cat chooses the dead of night to run like their life depends on it isn't what you think. It is a startling confession of their internal struggle to balance two worlds, and the truth behind it will reveal a side of your companion that is both beautiful and haunting. Something vital is being unleashed in the darkness, and once you understand the why behind the zoom, you will realize that your cat isn't just running through your house, they are running through time itself. It begins with the mystery of the predatory overflow, a biological reality that defines the feline experience in a human world. To understand the Zoomies, we have to look at the sheer physics of being a predator. Your cat is a masterpiece of stored energy, a living battery designed for high-intensity bursts of hunting. In the wild, this energy would be expended in the calculated stalks and explosive strikes required to survive, but in your home the prey is delivered in a ceramic bowl at 6 o'clock. What many people don't realize is that while we have removed the need for the hunt, we have not removed the need for the kill. That energy has nowhere to go. It pools and stagnates within their muscles throughout the long, quiet hours of the day. When the sun goes down, that internal pressure reaches a breaking point. They aren't just running, they are hunting the air, discharging a biological command that their body can no longer contain. But that is only part of the story because the timing of these sprints, the deep, quiet hours of the night, is a deliberate choice made by their ancient, crepuscular soul. Cats are designed to operate in the dim light of dawn and dusk, those liminal spaces where their vision is at its most potent and their world is at its most vulnerable. In the silence of your sleeping house, the environment undergoes a psychological shift for your cat. The furniture becomes obstacles in a forest, the hallway becomes a canyon. Here's the surprising part. Your cat isn't just running away from something, they are running toward their true identity. In the darkness, the domestic masks they wear for us during the day fall away. They are reclaiming their wildness in the only way they can, by turning your living room into a landscape of ancient survival. They zoom at night because that is when the world finally feels like it belongs to them again. What many people don't realize is that the Zoomies are often a form of post-elimination euphoria. You may have noticed that these frantic runs often occur right after your cat has visited their litter box. We often joke about this, but the psychological reason is quite fascinating. In the wild, the act of leaving behind a scent is a moment of extreme vulnerability. It is a marker that could lead a larger predator straight to them. Once the act is finished, a cat's nervous system experiences a massive rush of relief and adrenaline, a flight response that tells them to get as far away from that spot as possible, as fast as they can. When they zoom through your house after using the litter box, they are celebrating their survival. It is a tactile, physical hurrah for having made it through a moment of vulnerability. They are running on the pure high of being alive and safe. And sometimes the behavior goes even deeper into the concept of sensory grounding. Have you ever noticed your cat stop mid-zoom to frantically scratch at a post or groom a single patch of fur before taking off again? What many people don't realize is that these high-speed bursts can actually be a bit overwhelming for the cat's own senses. The stopping and starting is their way of checking back in with their physical body. They are using the friction of the carpet or the texture of their fur to anchor themselves so they don't get lost in the adrenaline. It's a psychological reset. They are dancing on the edge of their own intensity, pushing their limits and then pulling themselves back. It is a beautiful rhythmic display of self-regulation, a cat's way of mastering the storm that lives inside them. But the real reason might be even more emotional than a simple biological reflex. In the feline world, play is the language of confidence. A cat that zooms is a cat that feels fundamentally safe. You will never see a cat in a high-stress or dangerous environment engage in the midnight zoomies. They only do this when they know with absolute certainty that no harm will come to them. The fact that they can lose themselves in the madness of the run is a silent testimonial to the sanctuary you have provided. They are practicing their survival skills specifically because they no longer need them to actually survive. It is the ultimate luxury. Their zoomies are a physical manifestation of their freedom. They are running because they can, in a world that you have made safe enough for them to play at being wild. What many owners fail to notice is that the zoomies can also be a form of social invitation, even if it's one that happens while you're asleep. Your cat is acutely aware of where you are in the house. Often, their path will take them right past your bedroom door, or even across the foot of your bed. Here is the surprising part. They are inviting you into their peak hours of life. They are showing off their speed, their power, and their vitality. Even if you are unconscious, they are performing for the pride. It is a social check-in, a way of saying, look at what I can do. They aren't trying to wake you up because they are selfish. They are trying to share the most exciting part of their day with the most important person in their world. They want you to be a witness to their strength. As you begin to piece together these psychological triggers, the annoyance of the midnight thud begins to dissolve into a sense of wonder. You realize that you aren't living with a broken pet. You are living with a high-performance athlete who is navigating a domestic life. The shift from my cat is being crazy to my cat is being a cat is a quiet but powerful transformation. You start to see the zoomies as a sign of health and psychological wealth. You realize that the energy you see at 3 a.m. is the same energy that makes them such a fascinating, vibrant presence during the day. It is the fire of their ancestors, still burning bright in the middle of a modern home. This realization brings a new kind of emotional buildup to the way you look at your companion. You find yourself listening to the scurrying feet with a new sense of reverence. You realize that the zoomies are actually a gift. They are the sound of a creature that is completely at home in its own skin. It is a humbling thing to realize that while you are dreaming, your cat is celebrating the life you've given them. They are taking all the safety, the food, and the love you provide and turning it into a spectacular display of joy. Every thud on the floor is a heartbeat of a life lived without fear. Reflecting on everything we've discussed, it becomes clear that the midnight zoom is a bridge across 1,000,000 years of evolution. We spend so much of our time trying to make cats fit into our quiet, stationary lives. We want them to sit on our laps and sleep when we sleep. But a cat is a creature of the edges, and the zoomies are their way of refusing to be diminished. Reframe the original behavior in your mind. The next time you are woken up by a frantic sprint, don't feel a sense of irritation. Instead, feel a sense of pride. You have created an environment where a predator can afford to be a kitten again. You have given them a territory large enough and safe enough for them to lose their mind with joy. The ending is a quiet realization. The zoomies are the sound of a soul that is well cared for. It is the music of a happy home. You are the guardian of a very specific kind of energy, a guardian of the wild that still lives in our hallways. It is a calm, powerful realization that changes the very air of your house at night. You aren't just sleeping in a room, you are sleeping in a sanctuary where life is celebrated in the dark. As you drift back to sleep tonight, perhaps you'll hear that one final high-speed lap. You'll hear the soft huff of their breath as they finally slow down, their mission accomplished and their energy spent. You'll know that they are now settling into a deep, satisfied sleep of their own, their muscles finally quiet and their mind at peace. And in that silence, you find a sense of connection that is as deep as it is ancient. You realize that by letting them be crazy, you have let them be whole. It is a soft, steady reminder that the most meaningful things in life often look a little messy and sound a little loud. By learning the real reason behind the Zoomies, you've given your cat a home where their instincts are a source of celebration, not frustration. You've created a sanctuary where their wildness is finally truly honored. And in that realization, you find a sense of connection that is as deep as it is silent, a bond that accepts the midnight chaos as a profound declaration of trust. You are finally speaking their language. And in that language, A Sprint Through the Dark is the most beautiful poem of all.